I've been in a short series about how to have less meetings, and I've given you 6 points up to this point. I want to give you the 7th one today, which is this: teach your employees to solve problems. So many times, if we're honest, we just become the problem solver in our company. Everybody brings their problems, dumps them on our lap, and we're supposed to solve it. We're the answer man. Now, I understand you are knowledgeable and you have experience and you have insight and wisdom and all those things that are needed to run the company. But frankly, unless you want to make every tough decision, unless you want to solve every problem, you don't want to become the answer man. You want to teach your employees how to solve their own problems. Now, part of that may be you teach them how to understand what the problem is. You can do that by being a good listener. You can do that by asking great questions. And you want to dig deep. It's most problems are not on the surface. You have to go 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 levels deep to be able to truly get to the problem. What really is the problem here? And as you ask those questions, you're actually teaching your employees how to dig deeper and how to truly understand what the problem is before they try to solve it. You'll find quite often what happens is we solve a problem that's not really the problem. We solve a surface problem. We want to dig deeply enough that we know the real problem before we try to solve it. And then what will happen is, as you start to dig deep with your employees, you're helping them learn how to think. You're helping them learn how to solve the problem and identify the problem so they can solve the problem before they ever come to you. Now, here's what will happen if you do that. Your meetings will go from someone bringing a bunch of problems to you and dumping them in your lap and expecting you to solve them, to actually they are reporting a problem that came up this week, that they identified, they got clarity on, and they actually solved it, and all they're doing is letting you know what they've already done. Because you've been teaching them all along about how to identify the problem and how to solve the problem. And so they're just coming to you, reporting to you what happened, rather than expecting you to actually be the one who solves the problems. Now think about this. What a delight it would be is if you had your VPs, lieutenants, whatever you call them, coming to you and say, hey, boss, this problem came up this week. I took a deep dive into it, and what I really concluded was it wasn't what it looked like on the surface. Here was the real problem. And here's what I did to actually solve it. And I just wanted you to know about it because I think, it could easily occur in the future. And I wanted you to know what we were able to do this week in my department. You would sit back and say, wow, I'd love to have those kind of meetings. And you can have those kind of meetings. And frankly, if you follow what I've been sharing with you, you really would have a general meeting every week with everybody that would be kind of the 60,000-foot view. Then you'd have an individual meeting with each direct report, depending on how many you have, 3 to 5. You could have as few as 4 or as few as 6 meetings, and most of us would love to have 6 meetings or less, particularly if they're productive meetings. So I hope this little series has been helpful to you, and I encourage you to go back and review and kind of follow your way through them. But there are 7 points here that will help you have less meetings, and I think if you follow those, you're going to really get a lot of benefit from them. So thanks again for tuning in. Take care.